So, jetzt aber. Und damit hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück bei Genshin Impact. Wir sind hier irgendwie am Hafen wegen irgendwas gewesen. Fragt die Händler an der Straße nach Informationen. Okay. Machen wir doch das gleich. Stimmt ja, jetzt glaube ich, treffen wir ja vermutlich die Dori. Hat die Dori geheißen? Ich hoffe, die hat Dori geheißen. Wenn nicht, dann ist es egal. Dann heißt sie ab jetzt Dori. Elham.
Welcome, welcome. How can I help you too?
Du hast doch da nicht mal was.
Hi there. We would like to ask you a question. Do students from the academia ever come to Port Ormos?
Of course, especially around this time of year. Students from Sumeru City that are about to graduate often come to Port Ormos to cut loose a little. Many people often talk about how hard it is to get accepted into the academia, let alone graduate. But those who finish their studies and go on to become full-time researchers at the academia have it even harder. Sure, we may not be Sumeru City, but Port Ormos offers beautiful scenery and a stress-free environment. Some even say it's good luck to come to Port Ormos, so students and researchers come flocking here when things get to be too much at the academia. Ah, you see over there? Those are students from the academia.
Sie machen einen ernsten Eindruck.
They've been looking worried and miserable ever since they got here a few days ago. If you ask me, the life of a merchant is better. So long as the Akasha teaches us what we need, then life is good.
Those students seem to be discussing something. Let's see if we can listen in.
Die könnten mal diskutieren, wie sie bessere Klamotten kriegen. Die schauen ja grausig aus. Wir sollen schauen, was sie diskutieren. Jetzt sind wir dann um die Ecke schleichen und was erzählen die denn?
It's no good. I've tried asking around, but I haven't been able to learn anything useful. Not to mention that a bunch of scary-looking Eremite mercenaries have been posted along the streets now.
There's been a lot of fighting between the different Eremite factions in Port Ormos. If we choose to move on our own, then it would be wise to steer clear of them. Especially the group that's constantly shouting some stuff about the Scarlet King and some resurrection. I've even heard that the Citadel of Regzar is starting to get fed up with them. What was that group called again? Ein something or other?
They're called Ain El Akhmar. Today, I heard that the thing we're after might be in their possession at the moment.
Wait, come again?
Don't you see? Many of the Eremites in Port Ormos deal with trading this kind of thing. They're usually pretty wary of outsiders, but not so with students of the academia. It's because the kind of goods that students are looking for aren't the kind of goods that Eremites are after. As long as they know you're a student, then deals can be made. I've heard that Ain El Akhmar likes to set up shop at the Jafar Tavern. Supposedly, if you're willing to part with 500,000 Mora, they'll give you info on anything.
Wait, did you say 500,000? If information alone costs that much, then how could we ever afford to buy what we're looking for? I guess we might as well give up on trying to graduate this way.
I wouldn't worry too much. Our field of research is very niche. Who else could possibly be after that kind of shady knowledge? I bet it's practically worthless to anyone aside from us.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. Then the only thing left for us now is to find a way in. Why don't we all just pool our money together and pay for the information?
Whoa! Did you hear that? A niche field of research and shady knowledge? It all sounds pretty suspicious to Paimon.
Die der Akademie...
Is knowledge something people just buy and sell like that?
Jetzt. Die der Akademie geraubten Sachen auch mit Wissen zu tun... Hat auch mit Wissen zu tun.
So, what's our plan?
Lass uns in die Jafar-Taverne gehen. Versuchen wir mit dem von der Jafar-Taverne.
Didn't you hear what they just said? Buying information is going to cost us 500,000 Mora. Have you lost your mind?
Falls sie versuchen uns zu betrügen, werde ich ihnen nicht vergeben.
Oh, all right. Paimon never thought she'd agree to parting with that kind of Mora. But if you know what you're doing, then we should give it a shot.
Diese armen Mora. Ich meine, ich hätte es sogar. Wie viel Kohle habe ich eigentlich? Oh, was ist da? Nachrichten? Neues Rezept. Hier sind 3 neue Rezepte mögen in Zukunft. Okay. Pilz- und Fleischpizza. Dämmerfrucht-Beerentee. Krossgebratener Milchpilzturm. Okay. Was gibt's eigentlich bei Aktionen? Neue Sachen. Das geht noch 26 Tagen. Tage. Tagen. Das können wir eh irgendwann machen, wenn wir Lust haben. Da ist auch nichts. Und das ist ja auch egal. Ich dachte, da wäre noch irgendein anderes Event gewesen. Machen wir mal da lang. Aber es kommt vielleicht auch erst. Wer weiß. Oh, das sind die schon.
Port Ormos is pretty great. There's so many new and interesting things, not to mention all the tasty food. Sumeru's largest commercial port sure lives up to its name. Look at all the merchants, and everyone seems excited just to be here.
Es wird wieder auch niedergeschlagene Leute geben. Es ist Paimon, die zu energisch ist.
How did things end up like this?
All thanks to your artistic license. That's how. I should have made you wait until we got an update from Tanja.
But when I finished the prototype Aranara yesterday, you agreed that the kids would like it. That's why we tried bringing it out for a test run today.
Well, I never thought they'd dislike it so much.
Oh, what should we do?
Da haben wir die niedergeschlagenen Leute.
Whoa. Yeah. Compared to everyone else, they seem really down in the dumps. Let's go find out what's going on. Oh, hey there. Paimon's name is Paimon, and he's a traveler who is just passing by. Is there something bothering you?
Was ist das für eine Vorstellung, Alter? Ich bin Paimon. Paimons Name ist Paimon und das ist der Traveler, der rumreist. Das ist eine geile Vorstellung.
Oh, I noticed you two a moment ago. Welcome to Akara Crafts, the best toy store in Port Ormos. At least for now. What's bothering us is this prototype Aranara. To start with, could I get your opinion on it?
Prototype Aranara? You mean this wood carving here? Looks like a mushroom monster to Paimon.
Es hört sich eher wie der Name einer Waffe an.
Oh, no. The prototype Aranara is something that brings joy and laughter to children. At least in theory.
Not the first negative feedback we've had.
So, what exactly is a prototype Aranara?
So for context, Aranara are magical creatures in Sumeru fairy tales that live in the forest. For the store's 20th anniversary, we plan to release a series of hand-carved toys based on the Aranara stories that kids know and love. This is a prototype we made to get an idea of how they would react. But when we put it out there, the reaction was not quite what we'd anticipated.
They thought it looked like a mushroom too, huh?
No, worse than that, actually. I can't quite describe it, though. And I'm also not very good with kids. Maybe you could ask them for yourselves.
Schaut doch eher wie ein Monster aus. Nein, die gehen da direkt hin?
This is not an Aranara. No way.
Okay, jetzt habe ich alles gesehen. Die drehen sich um und gehen da direkt hin. Normaler... Da geht voll der Spinnenfaden runter. Was geht hier ab? Ich denke mal jetzt halt, warum leuchtet hier so eine Spinnenwebe? Normalerweise hätten die dazwischen nochmal Schwarzblende, dann läufst du selber die 2 Meter und dann kommt nochmal eine Schwarzblende und dann kommt das Gespräch.
I've read Uncle Tanja's Aranara and the Ill Little Fungus. It says that Aranara are supposed to be chubby and squishy. The carving looks nothing like that.
Toys do look better when they're round and chubby. the heart. This carving makes me feel lost and confused inside. I don't think the creator put his heart into it at all. It's nothing like an Aranara. Ooh, didn't put his heart into it, huh? Oh, sounds like one of those things that's easier said than understood.
Kassid and Alia didn't like this carving, but I think it's okay. It doesn't look too happy, so it's kind of pitiful in a cute way.
Oh, a positive review!
Yeah, so I would totally ask my dad to get it for me, if it wasn't meant to be an Aranara.
Oh, well, that took a sudden turn for the worse. We asked the children for their opinions.
Ihr seid kacke.
Oh, how did it go? Has it maybe, grown on them at all?
Leider ist das nicht der Fall.
Oh, this is such a shame. Why isn't Tondra back from Gandharvaville yet?
Oh, the kids kept mentioning an Uncle Tanger too. Who is he exactly?
Uncle Tanger is a famous children's author here in Port Ormos. He wrote quite a few stories in the past, but none of them were popular among children. Just like our prototype Aranara. But around a year or so ago, he suddenly had a eureka moment or something, and suddenly the children loved every one of his stories.
That's right. My little Ghaffari loves his stories too. The whole reason we decided to make these carvings was because we saw just how popular the Aranara are among children. We asked Tanja for guidance, but right after he agreed, he went off to Gandharvaville with his son to look for inspiration. They haven't returned yet. We were running out of time, so we had no choice but to carve an Aranara based on our own imaginations. As you can see, this was the result.
Oh, we have to do something. Hey, since you're the famous traveler, could you do us a favor and look for Tanger in Gandharvaville,
Woher weiß denn jetzt der... Ja, egal.
He doesn't have to come in person if he's too busy. Just ask him to write down his suggestions and bring his notes back to us, if you could. Please, if only to put a smile on the children's faces. And, of course, you'll be well compensated for doing us the favor.
They seem pretty desperate. Let's help them out. To see the kids smile.
Gut.
And also for our reward.
Gut, ja. Gut, Paimons heißer Sentimentgeld zuliebe.
Yay, rewards!
Wie sie sich freut. Yay, Money. Aber das war doch jetzt nicht das, was ich eigentlich machen sollte, oder? Dachte ich mir doch. Ich bin doch nur zufällig reingelatscht. Ich dachte schon, hä, was hat jetzt das damit zu tun?
This is the place we heard those students talking about. Let's find a seat somewhere and see if we can spot the group they mentioned.
Nachdem ihr euch hingesetzt und eine Weile gewartet habt.
Oh, you've arrived. Please take a seat.
So, they think that they can go toe-to-toe with the boss? Ha! Once we reclaim the power of the Scarlet King, they'll be the first that the boss punishes.
They're nothing to be afraid of. Our main rival now is the Caracal Battalion. They've also amassed a significant amount of more this time, so we mustn't underestimate them.
How can the Caracal Battalion compete with the boss when they're nothing but a bunch of money-grubbing opportunists out for a quick mora?
Yeah, with Boss's fervent devotion, he'll be able to use this power to bring our god back this time.
Huh. All these guys talk about is the Scarlet King, so they're probably the ones we're looking for.
Greater Lord Ruka Devata. That traitor and her followers must not be spared. The day will come when the Scarlet King exacts vengeance on Sumeru, and all of them shall be punished.
Wie er lächelt. Geil, Rache. Die Verräterin der höheren Herrin Ruka Devata.
Yeah, Paimon was wondering what they meant too. We should ask about that if we get the chance later.
Aber Hauptsache die dämlichen Ohrenstöpsel da drin haben, Alter, die wo. Mitglieder der Ein Almara. Tarik, was ist los?
Huh? Who are you? What do you want?
Ich bin ein Student der Akademie.
A student? What's a student from Sumeru City doing in Port Ormos?
Ist die Scheiße an, bist du meine Mutter oder was? Ich möchte etwas für die Sache erfahren.
Ah, well, if it's info you want, you've come to the right place. The question is, can you afford it?
Übergib 500.000 Mora? Oder geben wir mal nur 50? Ah, Scheiße hier. Die Paimon, oh mein Gott, mein Geld.
Here, this is the merchant's address. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it there. Hmm? Well, what are you waiting for?
Ich hätte noch eine kleine Frage.
Oh, that's right. We heard you mention the Scarlet King just now. We're actually interested to know more because we're archaeology students.
Fine. Since you've already handed over the Mora, I guess I can throw in a little extra info. As you can see, members of Ain al-Ahmar are devout believers of the Scarlet King. Years ago, the Scarlet King founded the great desert nation that was our homeland. It was an advanced civilization, far beyond anything you'll see in present-day Sumeru. The Scarlet King was the rightful god of wisdom, but he was betrayed by a companion he trusted. She even stripped him of his title, God of Wisdom.
So, you mean the traitor was...
Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, yes. That shameless wretch destroyed the Scarlet King's civilization, and our ancestors were forced to flee to this land where we were made to suffer the tyranny of our enemies. Furthermore, she conspired with the Academia to cover up the truth of her actions, and create the merciful and benevolent facade for which she is now known. Ugh, just thinking about it sickens me. But the story doesn't end there, oh no. The Scarlet King isn't truly dead. The voice of the Oracle has been heard in the desert, prophesying his resurrection. Mark my words, our god shall return. And when that day comes, all followers of the traitor and all the desert dwellers who have forgotten their true god will suffer retribution together. If what I'm saying makes you shiver with fear, it might not be too late for you to become a believer of the Scarlet King.
Kannst du das mit dem Orakel etwas erläutern?
I don't have anything to say to you Academia people about that. I think this conversation has reached its end.
Not just yet. This man is a fraud.
Malhai Tham. Ist das nicht der eine, der Schönling?
You again? Deranged Academia lunatic.
Yes, it's me again. I already warned you that if you weren't willing to sit and discuss things with me, I'd take measures to make things uncomfortable for you.
Okay, bisher wirkt er ganz cool und nicht wie so eine Flachpfeife wie manche andere.
Listen to me. That address he gave you is fake. Or at least, you won't find a merchant waiting for you there. This group has been boasting all around that they can provide information on a certain item as a means of luring people into their territory. Once you show up, they keep up the act until they have hard evidence that you want to purchase said item. Then they use that to squeeze you for all the more you're worth.
Hey! Shut it, Al-Haytham! What are you playing at, trying to ruin our business like this, hmm?
I told you the other day. I wish to discuss my terms with your boss.
Ha! The boss made it perfectly clear that he won't negotiate with you.
Yes, and in no uncertain terms. But that was then. It does not preclude him from changing his mind in the future.
I'm warning you. Don't push us, or this could get ugly. We don't usually get rough with people from the Academia because it just complicates things. For a lunatic like you, though, we might just have to make an exception.
If you're suggesting that we escalate this from a verbal exchange to a physical one, I accept. After all, even the Archons used war to negotiate the ownership of Teyvat. If, on the other hand, we can't agree on any means of negotiation at all, then I'm afraid my next course of action will sting a little more than the mere falling through of a few business deals. I will jeopardize the Eremite's reputation, which I know you value above all else. I am quite confident that if I began to take such action, your boss would willingly approach me himself. However, I fear that by then, some things will have happened that cannot be undone. Also, a word of advice. I suggest you tell your boss exactly what happened here today. Otherwise, he might blame you for not telling him in the future.
What did you say?
Scheiße, hast du keine Ohren?
Consider this. Have I ever failed to follow through on my word in the past?
This guy is really out of his mind.
Okay then. If you really have a death wish, let's meet a week from today. The pier in front of the Pharos Lighthouse, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sharp. Don't expect us to hold back.
Not so fast. First, you return the 500,000 mora to them.
Cool.
Please, I beg you, don't provoke them. We can't afford any trouble with this crowd. They haven't even paid for their food yet.
Ah, Mr. Iman. There appears to be fewer staff in the restaurant recently. This wouldn't happen to be because they're all busy spreading the word to the students, would it?
Well...
Someone who chooses to do business with a group like that really can't afford to get so flustered the instant someone confronts them about it. Consider the meal compensation for our silence. I'd say you're getting an excellent deal.
Whoa, did you see that? He not only got us our Mora back, but sent the Emirites running too! Plus, he seems to know a lot about what's going on around here. Let's catch up with him and ask some questions! He went that way! After him!
Paimon, Alter, die ist jetzt glücklich. Ja, ich habe meine 500.000 Mora wieder. Scheiße auf den Rest. Was soll das, ein Ofen? Hua!
Wait up! It's Al-Haytham, right?
What do you want?
Vielen Dank für deine Hilfe.
No need for thanks. My goal was to get to them, and you two gave me just the opportunity I needed. We're even. Oh, I advise you to keep your distance from them. Since they weren't able to make off with your Mora in the end, they might harass you again in the future. All right. Goodbye.
Hold your horses! We still have something to ask you about! Since you tore through their scam right in front of them, you must know the real story about certain something, no?
Who exactly are you two? And why are you inquiring about that?
Ich bin Student der Akademie. Nein, stimmt
A
nicht.
student. Right. Look, you should know that those thugs conducting business with you had nothing to do with your lie.
Vielleicht können wir über die genannten Bedingungen reden.
Huh? Oh, yeah! He's really strong. Weren't you saying something about a physical exchange? We can help with that.
He doesn't even have a vision. Forget it.
Maybe not, but he can still use elemental energy. Otherwise, there's no way we'd go asking for info from from guys like that. Those high-headed thugs are definitely gonna bring a lot of backup for your next meeting. Even if you don't go alone, you won't regret taking us with you.
All right. I accept. Got a pen and paper? If you're searching for someone who sells that kind of merchandise, I'll give you one of their addresses, and you can try your luck. We'll reconvene at the appointed time by the pier. It doesn't matter if you show up or not.
So, since you were happy to give us this merchant's information, does that mean you can tell us exactly what we're after?
You were willing to part with 500,000 Mora for something and you didn't even know what it was? Okay. Well, if you truly are as skilled as you claim, then you can beat the answer out of them when they become hostile. Look, if you've been making inquiries, then you have to know something by now. Tell me what you know so far, so I don't waste time repeating information.
We know it's connected to the academia somehow, and that not only do the Eremites deal in it, but some students want to get a hold of it too.
Das ist eine Art Wissen.
You know almost everything there is to know, but you're unable to compile this information because you've never seen the object before. This is what you've been looking for.
Schwebender Stein mit dem Kristall drin?
Paimon can't tell what it is. It looks like some kind of ornament.
This is a knowledge capsule. To put it simply, it's a vessel that can store a fixed quantity of canned knowledge. It's like a miniature Akasha. Anyone who links it to their personal Akasha terminal instantly becomes privy to its contents.
Wirklich jeder?
Correct. Anyone. Unlike the Akasha, which heavily regulates who can access what information, knowledge capsules confer their contents without any requisites.
That's amazing.
Paimon ist so geil. That's amazing. Das hat aber leider leicht sarkastisch angehört.
It's essentially a convenient and harmless vestibule for knowledge. Unfortunately, it's illegal in Sumeru to privately possess or trade them. They were created as a means for scholars to transfer knowledge gained from Irminsul into the Akasha, and are intended to be destroyed immediately after use. But despite strict regulations, some of these knowledge capsules will always escape destruction. After all, there will always be those in this world who are dissatisfied with life as designed for them by the Akasha and wish to change their fate. Over the past century, a wide variety of canned knowledge has been leaked from the academia. Now, in Port Ormos, the valuable ones are a means to Mora for the Eremites. Meanwhile, those which the Eremites deem to be useless to them occasionally prove useful to the common citizens and hapless academia students. Well, I think that about sums it up.
Ich habe gehört, vor kurzem ist etwas der Akademie geraubt worden.
Oh, so that's your true objective.
Ich möchte etwas darüber erfahren.
With our current arrangement, I don't believe I can offer an answer.
Was soll ich tun?
You're still resolved. Fine. Let's talk somewhere with fewer people.
Ganz kurzes Päuschen.